Hey guys, this week on Kombativ, we're testing out some of the most unusual weapons from the Kombativ.com website. But before we begin, if you just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic. It's Friday. I'm feeling great.
I'm so happy it's Friday. So last week we tested out some of the self-defense weapons from Kombativ.com. This week we're going to test out some of the most unusual weapons from Kombativ.com. So I asked Amanda to go back to the warehouse and find some of the most crazy looking unusual weapons she could find. She's boxed them up for me so I don't know what they are. That way I can give a good and fair and honest review of each product. So without further ado, Amanda, what is our very first item? What does your shirt say today?
It was never a phase.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so I need a knife. Let's just grab this guy, open this thing up, see what Amanda brought for us for our first weapon. I always love the unusual weapons. They're just fun to review.
I do too, and we've got some good ones.
We've got some weird ones, yeah. Okay, all right. So our very first weapon this week is the Military Trench Combat Comma. Awesome. I don't know why we ever needed a mashup of a trench knife and a comma, but here you go. All right, so first off, we can see that this comes with a really nice genuine leather black sheath, which this is a weird, oddly shaped weapon, so that's pretty cool they were able to make a sheath that looks like that. And it looks like the belt loop is over here, so we can hang it by the side of our body if we want to, so that's pretty neat. But I want to see the weapon itself, so let's go ahead and open this up, check it out. It's a little hard to get out of the sheath. Okay, that's pretty interesting looking. Okay, so first off, we can see that the handle is made from a solid brass, and that is a really heavy-duty handle that's shaped to look like a pair of brass knuckles, so that's pretty neat. Let's actually try striking with that really quick. Oh, wow. Okay, and I'm striking pretty hard, but it's also kind of digging in up there. But just as far as the knuckles go, that's really comfortable. I'm going to try swiping with it. That's a little awkward because the blade's this way. But it's actually really comfortable to swipe with as well. So if we wanted to use this as a knuckle duster, you absolutely could. I don't know.
It's double the damage with that.
Double the damage, absolutely. Okay, and then we can see that in the handle, there is US 1918 stamped in there, which that signifies that this is inspired by the Mark I trench knife from World War I. So if you're a history nut, this might be the perfect weapon for you. We can see that the blade is made from a 1095 high carbon steel. I like 1095 high carbon steel because it is a very strong steel. It's got very good edge retention. And it's actually really easy to sharpen too. So it's one of the things I love about it. But look at this. We've got this like weird patina looking finish on it. So that was made using a chemical and heat treating process. Gives it a little bit of character, so pretty cool. And then we can see that the steel does go full tang all the way through the handle, and then it's threaded into this little skull crusher spike at the end. So there we go, we've got a third weapon here. We've got this blade, we've got the knuckles, we've got a little spike there. We could use that as a glass breaker, but no, let's use that as an additional weapon. So let's test that out really quick. Oh yeah, look at that. That'll do some major damage just by itself. I want to test the blade out on this thing though. I do not want to total this Wing Chun dummy, so let's use the old Wing Chun dummy, see how that goes. I'm going to try really digging in and kind of like stretching the blade, see if we can snap it. Do we have safety glasses anywhere? Perfect, thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to dig in right here. Oh man. Okay, the center of this thing is as dense as you can possibly get. Okay, so I'm kind of twisting the blade. I'm trying to like break the blade. It did not bend at all. That is very solid. I'm gonna hit again. Yeah, that looks great. No bend to it at all. That is a very solid, very thick piece of 1095 steel. So very, very cool. Now the blade length is approximately 5¼ inches. The total length is approximately 13½ inches, and it weighs about 1 pound, 12 ounces. So that's a little bit heavy, but that's because we've got this solid brass handle and because the steel is so thick. So very cool. That's about all I have to say about this, right?
Awesome.
All right. Oh yeah. Thank you, Amanda. check your local laws on this thing. This thing, I have a feeling you're gonna struggle with some cities. So just just be aware of that. All right, let's go ahead and put that away and move on to our next weapon.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate it. Ooh, I love these little cases. Here we go. Let's see what this guy is. Okay, and our next weapon is the Eagle Claw Pizza Axe. Okay, I actually really like this weapon, but I know what you're asking yourself. Hey Kyle, how could you name that weapon the Eagle Pizza Claw Axe? That is a terrible name for a weapon. I agree that's a terrible name, but the truth of the matter is these are actually called a Viking pizza cutter axe, which is a type of downwind ulu knife. So the reason they're named that is because if we look at the blade, it's kind of a curved blade, which is perfect for slicing through a pizza. So pretty neat, but let's take a closer look at this guy. So first off, we can see that it comes with a really nice genuine leather sheath. This is like a high quality sheath. You can see there's some double stitching there, very thick leather. But let's go ahead and open this up and see what the weapon looks like. Ooh, look at that. That is really pretty. All right, so this blade is made from a very thick 1075 high carbon steel, and you can see that there's this detailed eagle that's been etched into the blade. So that just looks beautiful, right? And then the handle is made from a very smooth rosewood, so that feels very comfortable. One thing I noticed right off the bat, though, is this is really heavy. It weighs approximately 1 pound, 8.8 ounces. But all the weight is in the head of this thing. There's like no weight in the handle at all. But because of the shape and size of this handle, it's really comfortable to hold on to. So I think it's gonna be great for a martial arts weapon and for a pizza cutter. So let's just test this out as a martial arts weapon because it does feel comfortable. It feels really nicely balanced. Not on this Wing Chun dummy, on this Wing Chun dummy. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, I mean, it did a pretty good job. Yeah, this thing's pretty sweet. Okay, so the blade length on this is approximately 8.5 inches. The total length is approximately 11 inches. That's about all I have to say about this. There's not a lot to it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. We might have done this a couple weeks ago.
On the Karate Mart YouTube channel.
On the Karate Mart channel.
Yeah. The only other thing I can think of is if you are a chef or you have someone in your life who loves pizza, this would make an excellent gift because think about slicing a pizza with this bad boy. It's pretty awesome.
I used it at work before too, so.
Did we?
Yes.
What do we use it for?
Pizza.
Oh, okay. We've used it before for pizza. Awesome. All right, but that's about all I have to say about this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away. Let's move on to our next weapon. Thank you, Amanda. She's picking some good ones today. All right, let's see what this guy is. Are we ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. And the rugged combat knuckle knife. Ooh, I remember reviewing this probably about 2 or 3 years ago. It was a long time ago. But I remember the thing that I found so interesting about it is that it's an extremely inexpensive knife, but it held up just perfectly. So as you can tell, some of the materials on it may not be the most high-end materials like the upper level knives, but this thing actually holds up really nicely. So for a cheap knife, it's great. And we carry a lot of different knuckle knives on Kombativ.com, but this is the only one that I know of where you actually stick your fingers through the blade of the knife to use it as a knuckle duster. So that's pretty cool. In fact, let's just test that out really quick. I'm gonna try punching with it just like this first. Okay, that's pretty comfortable. I mean, that'll do quite a bit of damage. I'm gonna also put it into a swipe fashion, see how that goes. Okay, it's actually pretty comfortable both ways, so I'm impressed considering this is actually a knife. But let's take a closer look at this. So first off, we can see that it's got these aluminum scales on here that have a very modern looking design. And one of the things I like about it too is they created the finish to kind of look like the finish of this stonewashed steel here. So that's pretty interesting. We can also see that there is a pocket clip in back, so that's nice. But let's check out the blade. Ooh. I can see that it's got a really good spring assist. So if I hit the flipper on this, opens up just beautifully. That's awesome. All right, so the blade is made from a 3CR13 stainless steel, which is kind of an inexpensive steel, but that also allows this knife to be very affordable. So I do like that aspect of it. We can see that there is a steel liner on this, as well as a steel liner lock. So that's going to be very secure for you. And then it's got an ergonomic grip too. Like it fits really comfortably in my hands. I'm just gonna try slicing with this really quick, see how that goes. Oh yeah, I mean, that's pretty nice. Very comfortable. And then we can also see that there is a little glass breaker on the end. So we could use that as an additional weapon, or if you need to escape from your car at some point. We can also see that there's jimping right here and right here. So we can hold it in forward grip here and it's very comfortable. I can also put it in reverse grip. Very comfortable that way as well, so we could use it in reverse grip if we wanted to. The blade length is approximately 4 inches. The overall open length is approximately 9.5 inches, and when it's closed, it's approximately 5.5 inches. And it weighs about 7.9 ounces, so a really nice little weight for this knife. The only other thing I need to mention is check your local laws, because something like this is probably going to be illegal in a lot of areas. So just double check your laws so you don't get yourself into trouble. So, but that's about all I have to say about this, right?
Pretty cool, pretty cool.
All right, let's go ahead and put this away. Move on to our next weapon.
There you
Thank
go.
you, Amanda. Ooh, fancy. All right. And our next weapon is the removable spike spear staff. Awesome, awesome. Before I open this, I just have to admit I'm a little bit biased towards this weapon because we do manufacture it ourselves. I mean, this is actually handmade right here at our headquarters in the United States. So that's pretty awesome. Ooh, look at this. I'm gonna throw that over here. Isn't that beautiful?
It's gorgeous.
That is so beautiful. I love it. Okay, so the shaft of this is made from a very high strength, thick wall aluminum. So it's gonna hold up for you very well. It's gonna be able to take a lot of abuse, but it's also fairly light. So this 5-foot staff weighs approximately 2 pounds, 4 ounces, which is very similar to the weight of a wooden staff. So for a martial artist, this is gonna be absolutely perfect. You can see we also added these machined grip lines here and then up here. So this is going to be able to give you a good idea of where your hands are on the staff. It's gonna give you good grip. But then these grip lines here are great because there's a lot of staff techniques where you're grabbing onto the end of the staff as you're utilizing it. So very, very cool. And then the diameter of this is approximately 1 inch, which is a perfect diameter for a martial artist. So I know what you're thinking. You're asking yourself, hey Kyle, what makes that staff so cool?
Yeah, Kyle, what makes that staff so cool?
Thank you, Ian. Well, I will tell you. Okay, so this is what's so cool. If we unscrew these solid aluminum end caps here, can pull that off. And then in this black case right here, we've got additional end caps that we can add. So right here, we have these solid steel spikes that are just awesome looking. So I'm just gonna add that to the end of this thing. It threads in just beautifully. And look how sharp that little spike is there. Bing. So we can add one of these spikes to both sides and turn it into a full spear staff, or we can have one side be a spike, the other side be a standard end cap, and then we've got more of like a spear. So what I want to do is I want to test that little spear tip there, make sure it's not going to ding up by hitting something with it. So I'm going to hit it really hard against this guy. Okay, so you look at that. Look what I just did there. I just took a big chunk out of that, and let's check the tip of this thing. Looks good, no damage to it at all, looks great. So yeah, these things are gonna hold up for you very, very nicely. And then they come with this black nylon pouch to hold your extra tips, so you can't get much better than that. But if you guys have any questions on any of these weapons, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. And check out Kombativ.com because we've got all sorts of awesome weapons on there right now. But until next week, stay combative. But not so combative that you're chasing people around in the streets with the spear or you're using a pizza axe.